Hello and welcome to the latest PopBucket Podcast. With me today is James and Michael.
Hello. Hi.
We're doing well, chaps?
Yeah, spiffing.
Pretty good, mate. Pretty good. And yourself?
Not bad. The days are longer now, which makes games like Outlast less scary, which is sometimes a need out the fights I've been having with that. But all's well. All's well in the PopBucket household.
I hope you played it in a darkened room, Mike, with the curtains shut, and the lights off.
I can't do it with the headphones. It's too intense with the headphones on.
Is it that scary? I've kind of like Twitter's been abuzz with people going, "Oh my god, it's so freaking!" But I just can't imagine it.
I've watched someone else play it, and it's kind of get the idea. It would be tense and nervous if you were playing it yourself.
Yeah.
But just if you're watching someone play it, it's not quite the same.
It's
I suppose.
Scariest thing I've ever seen or done or anything like that.
Is it like the Slender Man game?
Yeah, it's that on
that
edge.
That was quite tense.
And
I played a version of that. Someone on I don't know if you guys have got the Project Spark beta, but people are making all sorts of games, and someone made a Slender Man type game, which was really creepy. It's like the same sort of setup, so it's like a first person walking through a dark forest with a little lantern going.
Yeah.
So what they say, James?
They go, and every so often you sort of turn around and there's like this weird thing kind of sucking the life out of you. It was creepy. I'd like to give Outlast a go.
You would, because there's Daylight out shortly as well, which is essentially the same thing for all intents and purposes. You have just like glow sticks for lights, and you have no weapons, and you have like a camera phone instead of an actual video camera.
It's horror set at a rave.
And you go around a mental asylum. It's always a mental asylum or somewhere like that, isn't it? Or an old hospital.
So it's always those bloody asylums.
You've been at a free party in an old mental asylum, and then everyone else disappears. What's with the glow sticks? Why have you got glow sticks?
I don't know. Maybe it's been a rave.
Yeah, it must be. It's an illegal rave in an asylum.
Possibly. We have to find out and play it, James, and find out the background to the glow sticks.
It's not a bad premise actually for the start.
It's not, is it?
Yeah.
That's quite good. You could go to a party. It all kicks off. Imagine a bit like Far Cry 3. You sort of maybe take a few mini drinks or some narcotics, something like that. Wake up and it's all gone. It's all quiet. It's like, what's happened? And maybe they were all ghosts, and there was no party. It's all hallucinations. Or
it's like the Hotel California.
Something along those lines, maybe.
Not one of those endings. Come on, man. We're not making a new rave Sixth Sense.
I don't know. Maybe can I give you code? We can start making this game this afternoon if you want.
Okay, right. Everyone, 3, 2, 1. Copyright. It's our idea.
Right, we call it Party Ghosts from the 90s.
We've called Bagsies on that, so
Bagsies.
No one
That's
else
how
can
it
make
works.
that game. In the court of law, that's Bagsies rules.
We call Bagsies, Your Honour.
So, yes, I'm looking forward to that. One thing I've been dying to talk about, though, is Terminator 5 news.
Ooh,
or Terminator Genesis, I think it's actually going to be called.
Okay.
Arnold Schwarzenegger, we know he's going to be in it.
Mm-hmm.
We know that for a while. And we think, how's it all going to work out now he's much older than he was sort of 30 odd years ago?
CGI?
No, he's going to be playing an aging Terminator. T800 model. So the same model as he's always played.
Right.
But
surely that doesn't work.
No, James, listen to them.
Is it an organic type?
James is on the ball. He said in the film they say how he's supposed to fit in. Originally they were human looking, so they started adding more hair and sweating and stuff like that to make him more realistic. And now they've developed that so he visibly ages, or Terminators actually age, so it blends in more. So I think the premise is a single Terminator can be infiltrating somewhere for 10, 20 years maybe, and actually ages with the people he's trying to kill. maybe.
I see.
Along those lines. I mean.
Well, he works.
Well, actually,
he works his way sort of into their society to get
Yeah.
sort of ingratiate himself with the leader.
So
That-
maybe
That makes sense.
as a Terminator, T-800, he could have infiltrated the highest powers of the US government to take it from within the inside, set up Skynet.
he couldn't be
Perhaps.
president,
He could be
though.
the president.
No, but
Not as an outsider. He could be governor of California, though. He could work his way up.
That sounds believable.
Yeah.
That
I
could
can
probably
see that.
happen, couldn't it?
Just about on the realms of possibility, I think, maybe. But I want to talk about sequels, if I may, because Hollywood sequels. I mean,
okay.
because I just watched a video basically saying, "Are you looking forward to the summer movie lineup? You can watch Spider-Man, the sequel. You can watch the sequel to Rio. You can watch the sequel to..." And it's an endless list of either sequels or reboots of original premises. What the hell? And you know, I literally just look at it and go, do you know what? I'm probably going to watch one of these movies and be really angry with myself for even going in the first place. But what's the alternative, really? So I just want from you guys a sequel that you don't mind actually going to see.
I quite fancy Captain America.
Yeah, well, that's the one.
That's probably the only one.
That's the one I picked out kind of as I'll possibly go and see that, because it's got Redford in it, and it seems like it's taking a whole sort of 70s spy thriller vibe.
Yeah,
which when you
that, doesn't it?
Which when you match that up with Captain America, that could be a really cool mix, because he's such a straight down the
Cold
line.
War, isn't it? So
yeah, it's sort of set in a now. I think it's supposed to be roughly now time. But it's kind of it's got the vibe of like a Cold War kind of 70s political kind of thriller. So that plus Captain America action could be a really interesting mix. I mean, it could die on its arse, but at least it's I'd pay to watch something that's ambitious and failed than more of the same, really.
Yeah. I mean, the Spider-Man, I'm not too excited about that, to be honest. I liked Spider-Man films, but obviously the last one was a reboot.
Yeah.
Of the series,
like 9 years after the other one. Right?
I mean, it didn't feel like that long ago. We'd kind of done the origin story and kind of he gets bitten by a spider and he's mutating.
Here we go again.
Kind of stuff. It was just a little bit too soon for me. But I don't know. Maybe
good actors, but
sequel could be good. Yeah, Rhys Ifans was really good,
and Andrew Garfield's always solid, and and Emma Jones is always really good value for money, but I don't know. It just seems to me that they're thinking, what new enemies can Spidey fight now, as opposed to how can we develop the character and make him interesting. So
that's it. Yeah, and the only difference was that Mary Jane wasn't called Mary Jane anymore, which was like, why? Well, that's not really worth changing.
Oh right. I think they had another. Did they have another character that was competing for her affections as well? They had, which goes back to the comic books as well. The Gwen character, I can't remember the name at the moment. Apologies to any fans, but I really don't give a stuff.
Tell it like it is, mate.
Yeah. Anyway, Marty, what's your opinion?
I am intrigued by the new Godzilla film.
Sorry, taking some tea. Then who's in the new Godzilla?
Was it Bryan Cranston?
Oh, good.
I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce his name. So he's in it. I can't remember off the top of my head who else is in it.
Okay.
But it just looks a bit more interesting.
The trailer was quite cool.
The trailer looks good.
Looks a bit like a Cloverfield type.
Very much so in that respect. And I know they use a bit of Japanese or sort of mythology and seem to been a bit more respectful, I suppose the best word, to the originals. I don't know if they're going to fight a giant robot. I'm not sure yet.
The Mothman. That'd be awesome.
But that looks quite interesting. But I'm just on the website now because I had up the news about Terminator 5.
Yeah.
And you always like to see also articles. On the film section, you've got news about the Bond 24. You've got news about Godzilla, which is obviously a remake.
Yeah.
You've got 12 Monkeys gets a TV series order.
Really?
And Captain America 2. So yes, we're remaking 12 Monkeys, and I think we're also doing a TV
as a TV
series.
show. Oh, cool.
I think we're making a film and TV series. And Captain America 2. It's like pretty much everything is sequels.
A sequel or derived from something else, yeah.
And something about Goosebumps as well. But
Really?
the old R.L. Stein books, which is my favourite series of books as a youngster.
Oh, I used to love those when I was a kid.
Because Jack Black's in that Goosebumps movie.
Really?
Oh, right. Good choice.
Do you remember the series on Nickelodeon?
I love the
Was
series.
it on Nickelodeon? It was quite good.
I still vividly remember the opening scene where the man's walking up with a briefcase to the top of a hill. The briefcase opens, all the papers fly around, and creatures come alive. I remember that.
That was awesome.
Say cheese and die again.
Say cheese, the blob that ate everyone.
It was brilliant. I love those books. Mike, did you ever read them?
No, I feel like I've entered an alternate universe with all these references to things that I don't quite get, but I'm going to have to go back and read them now, although I'm probably not the age-appropriate audience at the moment.
Goosebumps is on Netflix.
It's on Netflix. Oh, well, there you go.
So
No excuse. No excuse.
Unfortunately, Are You Afraid of the Dark's not on Netflix, and I used to love that.
It is on. It's on the Love Film streaming app. Actually, I was watching something the other day.
One.
That was pretty cool as well. But watching it back, I don't know if it's just I picked a bad episode, but there was nothing scary about it. It was like, oh, we're moving into a new house. Oh, I'm going to make friends with the boy next door. What boy next door? There is no boy next door. It's like, oh god.
And it was normally pretty terrible acted.
It was pretty bad.
So I think some of those shows where quite a few famous actors have now popped up, because obviously everyone's got to start somewhere.
Yeah.
And it's that sort of show where they have a brand new batch of half a dozen sort of teenagers. So inevitably someone's going to become famous out of it.
I can't remember who was in this one. It's she's quite famous. She was in the Clueless film, the main character.
Alicia Silverstone? No.
Maybe. Yeah, I think so. She was the main. I can't remember what her name was, but the main Clueless person. But she was in it. She was about 15. It was like, wow, I recognise her.
The more you know.
Yeah.
Thinking about sequels again, I now know getting old is when your favourite films as a kid is getting remade. Because I know that Short Circuit remake's been in the works for a few years now. And I love Short Circuit.
I used to like Short Circuit. Johnny Five.
I love Johnny Five. He's one of my favourite characters of all time.
I had a bit of an obsession with robots when I was a kid, so that was up there with R2-D2 and C-3PO and all those cool robots.
I did like robots. I have told my mum this because when I was about 5 or 6, when I was upstairs at my old home, I had some weird thing where for a while I thought there was a killer robot patrolling the corridor. And I honestly believe this killer robot was sort of going up and down on its caterpillar tracks.
What?
With like a laser gun or something like that.
It's one of the evil Johnny Fives.
Was this
when they made the
army Short Circuit?
I must have seen Short Circuit at that point. And I was honestly scared out of this robot. So I'd gone up to brush my teeth and things like that. And then I sort of braced myself on the lock of the toilet and then quickly opened it, ran across the hallway downstairs as quickly as I could, thundering down like a herd of elephants.
Right, so you've grown out of it now.
Running for your life.
Mum and Dad did say, I was like, why do you keep running down the stairs like that? And I never said. I just thought I'm racing down. I was also going to make myself sound stupid and say there's a killer robot upstairs. But I did tell Mum recently, she did find it quite amusing.
I can imagine.
It's weird how these things get into your head.
Yeah. Well, I know what freaked me out as a kid was I saw Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey. And it's the one where they've got robot versions of themselves. And they've got like this scene where they like rip open the skin on the top to reveal like the robo guts underneath. And like that really actually did freak me out for quite a while. And I was like, what the fuck? So, yeah. But I didn't imagine that there was this, a fake human robot patrolling my my corridor between my bedroom and the bathroom. But it still freaked me out. But yeah, I don't know, James, did you watch anything as a kid that you watched it and thought, oh, that's a bit?
Yeah, I was just just thinking about that. I used to. What was it? Do you remember that film Mannequin? I watched that when I was a kid. That kind of creeped me out.
I've heard of it. Is that the one with the girl out of the lady out of Sex and the City who plays Samantha?
That's right. Yeah. Wasn't a horror movie. Wasn't in the least bit scary. But for me, the concept of a mannequin coming to life and a guy going on a date with her just freaked me out when I was a kid. And every time I saw mannequins, I was like, oh God, are they going to come to life? That one doesn't look too friendly. So yeah, I was a fun kid to take to shopping malls and stuff, as you can imagine. But yeah, I don't know. I can't remember what else I was afraid of.
There's a really cool episode of Doctor Who, the Christopher Eccleston series, where I think it might be the first one actually, where there's a whole
the plastic comes to life.
Yeah, it's like one of these mannequin dummies come to life episodes, and that's really creepy.
Yeah,
I remember
and
that,
the black bin. It's like someone's black bin comes to life and eats an old lady or something. That was quite funny.
There is also really funny footage of like 1970s Doctor Who when they obviously didn't have that great a budget, where they had the Master and they had an evil chair eating someone, and you could see that the actor was having to pull down on the chair itself to make it look like the chair was like engulfing him, and I was just thinking, oh, you poor soul. So it's not all freebies and corporate gigs for actors.
I just imagine like rehearsals when he was like practicing that scene. It's like, oh, how does this look? Is it convincing enough?
And the director's going, yeah, it'll be great. Don't worry. Yeah, no.
We'll put a bit of gloss on there. You'll never know.
And now we've got IMDb.
Yeah. You been playing anything decent, game wise?
Decent? Wow.
Or not decent, perhaps.
Yeah, I've actually, my gaming repertoire has actually been. I've been quite lucky recently. I've been playing probably upper quartile of decent at the moment. So Metal Gear Solid 5.
Oh yes.
Reviewed that last week or the week before, whenever it came out. Bloody good, actually. I'd recommend it if you're fans of the series. It's quite nice to see a next-gen version of Metal Gear Solid, keeping kind of all the stuff that we know and love, but adding some really awesome stuff as well. So, it's got some really nice features. So now sort of you're stealthing around in kind of a bit of an open-world environment. So the whole game takes place in kind of one quite large military base called Camp Omega, which is basically Guantanamo Bay. So it's
by another name,
by another name, It's a place that's kind of owned by the US, but on sort of Cuban soil. So it's kind of out of their powers of sort of jurisdictions. They can do what they want. They've got loads of like prisoners of war there that they're doing like horrible stuff to. So I mean, story-wise, it's pretty disturbing, to be honest. I mean, Metal Gear's always been a little bit sort of near the knuckle, I think, with some of its kind of political symbolism, but it's quite in your face now. So I don't know if you guys played Peace Walker at all. No. There's two of the main characters in that were sort of your allies and sort of resistance fighters. There is a little kind of 15-year-old soldier called Chico, and a lady called what's her name? I can't remember. But basically they're being held captive, and your mission is to go and sort of free them. But it's not as straightforward as that. It's pretty horrible. They've been sort of like quite badly tortured. Like the kid's had like nails put through his feet so he can't walk, and the woman's been like really seriously kind of sexually abused, and like a lot more. But we'll go into this because this is a family show. But play the game. It's really good.
I did see your review. I mean, I like the idea of like an open world kind of MGS, and like where you can sort of take on the missions that you want to take on. So the mission structure seems quite fluid. Am I reading that wrong? Or
you're absolutely right. I mean, you've got a main mission objective, which is to rescue these two. But there's actually quite a lot of stuff to do in and around the base that you kind of, just through exploration, you kind of pick up extra stuff. So you're like, you overhear conversations between the guards, and they're like, "Oh, we're doing something over there," and you kind of wander off the beaten track and find a bit more to do. But so it's pretty free and easy. There's loads of optional objectives as well. So there's other kind of prisoners of war that, depending on your motivation, you might want to save. They might have useful information, or you might just feel bad for them because they're being sort of, having the crap tortured out of them.
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool. I like the open world structure, and it's meant to be kind of the bridging point between the next game, which is the Phantom Pain, which will be really, really open world in a much larger area. So I think it's they've kind of sold it as a way to
introducer,
set players up to that kind of concept. I think. So it's not too overwhelming.
That's a smart idea, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's been argued that it's just an extra way to make a few bucks and release a game which is effectively another game's prologue. But I applaud the notion, if it's an honest notion, to kind of induct people into the kind of ways of new Metal Gear Solid.
Are they charging? Are they charging full price for that then, James? Or is it a budget?
It retailed to begin with at about £25. So and that's on the Xbox One. I think it was 20 on the Xbox 360. So so obviously half price, really.
Well, that's not too bad, really, is it? I mean, for the amount of content that you said that it involves, if you do get off the beaten track, it sounds like there's a good few hours there.
Well, the interesting thing is, sort of, you can complete the mission in about half an hour. I know that there's been some speedrunners that have done it in 10 minutes or something, apparently. But I mean, you can do it really quick. But what you'll find when the credits stop rolling is that actually you're only 10% completed for the full game. So there's actually loads of stuff that you need to go back and do, and loads of extra story that you can unlock to find out a bit more about kind of, what the hell's happened here. So the main sort of antagonist, Skullface, is kind of, there's a number of tapes around the base that you can find, and it's basically interview recordings with him and the people that he's torturing. So you get to fill in quite a few of the blanks, but it's pretty sinister listening. It's not fun.
Because I'm by myself all of next week because the wife's away for work. I've started Batman Arkham Origins, and I'm all about halfway through that, so I need another game to get next week. And I'm thinking between Metal Gear Solid 5 or Infamous Second Son. I'm not sure which one I'm going to get yet, but I think I'm going to get one of those two.
Yeah, well, I mean, Metal Gear will keep you occupied and is, pretty decent value for money, really. But I can't really speak for Infamous. Have you played Infamous, Mike?
No, I haven't actually. I'm not very familiar with that. I know it's Sucker Punch, but other than that, I'm not really sure what the hell it is. It's some sort of superhero movie.
Yeah, it's kind of, it's a bit like Prototype, isn't it? Do you remember Prototype?
You've got like an open world city, and you've got these powers that you can use to bound around it, and
basically,
yeah. It's a bit like the X-Men, isn't it? People are trying to catch you for being a freak, and you're having none of it. You go, "Ooh, I'm going to set you on fire with my powers."
They should employ you for like voiceover work, James. It'd be amazing.
I've had enough of your jip. Have some of this.
Yeah, take that, Sonny Jim.
It's almost, imagine be like the Danny Dyer character in, was it Vice City or San Andreas, the Grand Theft Auto game. I can't remember which one he's in now.
Was he in one of them?
Yeah, he was in it. He was Paul Short, his character.
Oh, yeah.
But he was like a proper Cockney guy, so he stood out against all the American voices.
Oh, yeah. So, that was in San Andreas. I'd forgotten about that. Yeah.
So you could do that. Maybe go up to Rockstar North and say, "Alright, chaps.
Alright, boys.
I'm the voice of Bristol you want for your next game."
You need me. Yeah. I downloaded Thief as well on the Xbox One. It was half price the other day for like a day, so I was like, I'll download it. But I haven't been playing it yet. I'm looking forward to that though.
Hopefully, both Sony and Microsoft do more of those sort of quick flash sales. Because Thief's been out for like less than a month.
Yeah, it's like,
and Tomb Raider as well. That was half price.
Yeah, that was on the same deal actually. Yeah.
So
it's sort of the beginnings of their games with gold thing, isn't it? Which they're launching. I think it's next week.
They're floating that over to the one, aren't they?
Yeah, I don't know how it's going to work though, because they've not got that many games to start dishing them out for free.
Yeah, we'll see what happens with that. Keen eye, considering how much value the PlayStation Plus has been. Yeah.
And the games with gold on the Xbox 360 has been amazing, really. But I've got like a pile of like 10 games that I've downloaded but never touched. That's the only issue is when they're free, you don't tend to prioritise the ones you've kind of paid for or the ones you need to review. And, yeah, it's a shame.
Unfortunately, life gets in the way.
It does indeed.
We can't hook ourselves up to a machine with a drip and just sit there for 24 hours a day. Play all through.
We want to do that.
Of course not. Michael, you'd be pleased to hear I finished Hotline Miami.
Oh, good man. Was it on the Vita that you were playing that?
Yeah.
You really enjoyed that?
Really good. Yeah, it was really, really good.
Can you do the target lock-on thing where you can look at?
Oh yeah, I found out on the last level. Yeah. Literally like the last level. You press, I think it's technically R3.
Is that the stick?
The stick, yeah. But because it's on the Vita, you touch the corner of the screen.
Oh right, okay.
And I just never did that before.
Because that would have made Hotline Miami about a lot harder for you, really, without having that.
Well, it shows how good I am.
Yeah, it does.
I can do it without target lock-on.
It does. But no, there's no game really that sucks you in like Hotline Miami. It's just the replayability and the music and just the whole style of the game. It all blends together, and they all make something greater than the sum of its parts. And it's just fantastic.
I've like replayability. I died obviously so many times. It's crazy, and like I'm calling myself the worst names possible, but just keep hitting restart. And then literally 10 seconds later,
dead again.
Sort of dead again.
But the thing is, you learn something every time that you go down in that game, don't you? Really?
Yeah. And although sometimes because it mixes up the sort of pattern of the level ever so slightly in terms of the way the enemies sort of patrol, and it's like, oh, you've nailed it, and then he's changed it. Normally, it always flips between that 1 or 3 sort of patrol routes, it seems. But that was really good fun. I've been trying to find the music online, but it's not on Spotify, I don't think.
I've got it as a playlist. I'll share it with you if you like. But it's
on Spotify?
Yeah, it's on Spotify. Yeah.
Oh.
It's really hard to find game music on Spotify, but there's loads on there. You just it's weird. Sometimes the search terms have to be really specific.
Yeah.
But I had trouble. I found some stuff recently.
Because I found the Ocarina of Time music.
Oh, nice. Really?
But it's by someone called Monslave or something like that.
Yeah.
Or Salvi. And it's not the normal sort of official.
It's their version of it, yeah. Obviously, because they could get the rights.
I've got the official one somewhere. It's on my iPod, but it's I've got a zip file of it somewhere. So I'll try and dig it out if you want.
Yeah, that'd be good. I've just been wanting to listen to the music.
Yeah, it is brilliant.
Without the distraction of the actual sort of game.
Yes. Used to have the windmill music as my ringtone. That was quite nice.
The Song of Storms.
That was it. Yeah,
I like the menu screen music for Hotline Miami. It's just so perfect for the game somehow.
Yes, I know the one.
It's just kind of really weird and really sort of it almost makes you go a bit zombie-like if you sit there and listen to it for too long. But that's the exact tone that they're after with the game, and it works great. I think it's called Horse Stepping by Sun Ara. Yeah.
I still need to play this game. It's one of those games I've heard nothing but good things about.
Yeah. I can't think of anything. There's not enough of it. I don't know. Even that is really a criticism, because the replayability, you can go through to the levels to get a better score, and you also, as you go through, get awarded points, and those unlock new weapons. And I've got the samurai sword at the moment, which is kind of awesome, and has a very wide sweep. So I'm going to be going through some levels a lot quicker, I think.
Slashing.
Slash. But what's really cool is that the guns have limited ammo on that game. So it's kind of, you have to, and also if you shoot a gun on that game, it is kind of like sending up a flare. All of the enemies will just converge on your position. So you have to choose how and when you use guns, and it's strategic. And like Mike said before, it's basically got a puzzle element to it as well, which makes it more than just, you know, a mindless kind of shoot 'em up or top down kind of Smash TV type thing. It's it's brilliant. Anyway, let's talk about something else. Otherwise, I will just talk about this for an hour.
Okay. Is anyone excited for Game of Thrones?
Yes.
Oh yeah. Although I'm probably not going to watch it for a while, because I like to watch multiple episodes at a time. I can't just watch just one. It just it annoys me a bit. So
especially the way they end as well sometimes, and you just want to know.
But no, it should be awesome. There's a lot of hype going around, isn't there? And judging from the book, this will be a really good series, depending on how they do it. I think if they split it and spend enough time on the right bits, it'll be awesome. You guys will love it.
I'm literally, I can't wait. It's just one of those. It's one of those few series where everything about it is perfect. The casting, the blend between violence, intrigue and plotting, humor, drama. It's got it all, really. It's just one of those shows that's brilliant. And Peter Dinklage and he's just great, isn't he?
He's one of the he's pretty much the best thing about it. I like pretty much. I can't remember 90% of their names, their characters. I always have to say, the blonde mum of Joffrey.
Yeah, the blonde mum.
or the giant guy that was always giving Thingy a piggyback. That's literally all I have to say about the character's name. Yeah, that's it. Thank you. I can remember Joffrey.
Oh, I hate Joffrey.
And everyone hates Joffrey.
I think Joffrey's slightly worse in the series than he is in the books. Like, he's a real pain in the ass in the books, but they make him like, I don't know, like a bit of a sort of sexual deviant in the series, as well as being a pain in the ass. So it's like,
he is a little bit, isn't he?
A little bit.
He looks like Crossbow.
He does, a little too much.
Yeah.
It is good. So every character, whether they're nice characters or horrible characters, they're all good to watch, or you like them even though they're horrible. If you know. Well,
there's a really interesting bit about it when you're talking about the Lannisters, and you've got the guy who in the first episode you see him push a child out the window.
Jamie.
Yeah. And
Jamie, that's it.
You've got him talking about, obviously he killed the previous king. That's his name, Kingslayer comes from. And he's talking about the circumstances. You don't find out through the series until quite far into it what actually happened in the TV show. And so he's explaining why it happened. And he said, well, why didn't you just tell Ned Stark the reasoning behind it? And he said, do you think someone with as black and white a view of what's right and what's wrong as Ned Stark would have listened to reason if I'd told him? And you kind of think, actually, you've kind of got a point there, really.
Yeah. You know? He's quite a complex character, Jamie, because you like, even in the books, you start off sort of hating him and thinking, oh, he's such a treacherous git, killing the king and like pushing schoolboys out of windows and all that sort of stuff that he does, and loving his sister a little bit too much. But like as time goes on, you start to understand his rationale a little bit, don't you? You start. I don't know. I really like him as a character, though. I hated him to begin with.
The Bear and the Maiden Fair, I think that was the turning point for me. That episode for Jamie
with the Brienne.
With the Brienne character. And,
is that's a really tall blonde knight?
The female knight, yes. And,
I thought that little dynamic where they had about 3 episodes of them
on the road,
walking around.
It's like a little bromance developing. It's quite nice.
But they had like jokes about her size and stuff like that, didn't they? At times, and then their sort of more serious relationship and their little infighting, and then
the cool thing is most of the knights in sort of the realm of Game of Thrones are really bad knights. They don't they don't do their oaths and they don't follow them down the line. And Brienne is one of the few knights in there that you can say actually she is straight down the line. she does what she sets out to do. She follows the honor code of the knights, and so it's interesting to have her, especially in contrast to Jamie and some of the other characters in the show. And I think it sheds more light on them as well. So
it's quite sad, though, isn't it? Because for all her sort of good, her status as a woman means that no one else really accepts her as a proper knight.
Yeah,
which is unfair because she's probably the most knightly of
knights.
Sort of the most knightly of knights, if that is a word I can use. But yeah, she's a cool character. Brilliant.
As we're talking about Game of Thrones, I saw the other day, ahead of the new series, someone created 61 things that happen in every episode of Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
And it was quite funny. I won't go through every single one of them. But
you will.
Say about 6 of them. 6 of the points is boobs, more boobs. Some more boobs again.
Yeah. I think I saw this actually. Was it it's the land of nouns or something? Everything's a noun. Like the hand of the king, the Lord of Light. Everything's something else, something of something else. Yeah.
That is kind of true.
I can't remember Master of Whispers. It was just endless, and I was like, yeah, I hadn't really thought about that.
I tell you what,
Mother of Dragons.
I tell you what, TV show I've finished watching a while ago, but I'm going back and I'm watching. They've done the director's commentary for season 1 now on Netflix, which is a thing that they're doing now, which is pretty cool. It's House of Cards. They're doing the US one, and they've had David Fincher doing his director's commentary on the first season. So I watched the first episode of the first season again with him doing the commentary. It's really interesting to listen to him and how he made the choices and why he made those choices. It's particularly how you introduce the character of Frank in the first episode. So I definitely recommend people watching that. But I was just going to say, Marty, have you seen the end of House of Cards 2, and what did you think?
I've seen both series now.
Yeah.
Obviously, you sort of know what's going to happen anyway.
Yes,
You can sort of know the overarching
yeah.
arc, and you know sort of how it's going to end, because House of Cards, it can only end
one way,
with it all collapsing.
Yeah.
But he's very efficient, Frank Underwood.
Yeah, he is, isn't he?
He's very efficient. I think I remember reading Obama talking about House of Cards and saying that if Frank Underwood was in the US Senate and things like that, he'd be getting more work done than anyone else around, because he's so good at what he does. Obviously, they do it to speed things up, but I really do like how the sort of conflicts and all the subplots. Every subplot is interesting.
Yeah. Normally,
there's one you don't like for one reason.
So why are they going there with that?
But they all have their own reasons for existing. They all link back to the main story.
They do. I would have one slight niggle, which is with the hacker subplot, which I think did get a tiny bit silly at one point.
Yeah.
Especially,
I know what you mean.
Yeah, where he's contacting him on the laptop with a CGI penguin kind of as an avatar. I thought that. Yeah, I didn't just make that sentence up from some imaginary part of my brain. That happened. But apart from that, I think it was kind of really good television, really sort of serious drama, well worth a look. And also, it's great to watch Frank. I can't wait to see what he does in the third series. Now he's got where he's got, and it should be entertaining, because there is more for them to base it on, because the original English series, which you should also check out and watch, is an overarching sort of three series thing as well. I think it's 3 miniseries. So they've got material on about what happens next. So I'd just love to see what their take on it is.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see if they stick with a third series and it will end with the next one, or if they sort of drag it out a bit longer. I don't think they'll do it beyond.
No, I think 3 series is a healthy number for it. I think. Yeah,
it's a good number of episodes a series, but not too many. And that's one thing I've noticed about American series, is that these days they're sticking around more the 12 to 15 episode mark rather than 24.
Yeah.
They're sort of reining it in. I know it's not cheap, but there's so much better for it. We've seen how efficient popular Walking Dead is, or Game of Thrones and things like that. It's instead of some episodes just going on about nothing, like the old 24 episode series. It's true. It's much better for
24 kind of lost me after series 4.
24 is a good example.
I mean, I think with series, you always have a weird subplot in 24. There's always one subplot where you think, okay, the head writers went out for lunch and they let the office boy do a little bit of scribbling. And there's always when Jack's daughter gets chased by a mountain lion, and you kind of think, and then the next episode they kind of go, yeah, that didn't happen. We're forgetting about that story now.
There's a lot of time spent watching Jack travelling as well. It's like, Jack's on a plane. Now he's on a boat.
Now he's going here. Now he's going to drive his car and get across town in 20 minutes. No, but
it's too much.
It is, yeah. I think they need to go, okay, narrow the focus, go into what's important about the plot, which is Jack saves the universe, and
I think New 24 is doing that, isn't it? Because they've cut it down to 12 episodes now.
Yeah, it's going to be set in the UK.
Some of it.
Yeah. And you know what we do when they set things in the UK? They always put Union flags, the black cab, a red telephone box in all the publicity photos. It's like how.
But to be fair,
it's so annoying.
We do the same thing with American episodes of English stuff though as well, because we put standard iconography of America in every single episode of it's the holiday episode where we're in America. Do big shot of Hollywood sign.
It's annoying when it works both ways. With shows like True Detective, they don't do anything silly like that. It's just a city where these two guys are working solving out murders. They don't use silly little iconography like that. They don't have American flags waving around, sort of making a point.
It's a bit in your face, isn't it?
Or a big Ford pickup truck going past.
It's not like it's a show for children, and the children need to, have something obvious in their face to kind of tell them where it is. We're all adults.
It's like in the Waterloo Station thing in the third Bourne film. They sort of used London, but they didn't use it in a silly, cheesy manner. Yeah. It was just at Waterloo Station.
It just happened to be the setting. They didn't make a point of, this is where we are. Yeah.
But it's much better.
What was the Call of Duty when they went to London? Was it Modern Warfare 2 or 3?
I think it might have been Modern Warfare 2.
2, because I remember there's a multiplayer map.
Yeah. With the tube names,
With the tube, that's right. So the one thing I have noticed is I don't really get too excited about upcoming films these days. It's more about upcoming TV series.
Yeah.
I used to be like thinking, look at 2014's, or look at 2008's movie list. Look what's always coming out. And now it's like 2014. It's like, there's a couple of films maybe.
I think it kind of it links back to what we were saying earlier, really. I mean, I think you kind of just grew up, Marty, and you sort of realise, a lot of this is dross. A lot of this is a sequel or a remake. There's no new ideas. Nothing's going to surprise me or make me think about the world in a different way. Why should I even bother? Which is, I mean, as depressing as that sounds, that's actually a positive, because it means you work harder as a viewer, as someone looking at things, to seek out the treasure, to find that movie that is actually,
a discerning eye is not a bad thing, is it really? There's a few films that I've kind of flagged that I'm looking forward to, but 80-90% of the films that are going to come out this year, they'll just pass you by.
Yeah,
and I think,
and that's healthy.
If we sat down at a pub, we could have a very good stab at writing down a good amount of the plot for each film and have a fairly good success rate.
Yeah,
because it's just so typical. Whereas,
you mean if we were trying to guess, what?
If we were trying to guess what these films are going to be, what Transformers, all the things that happen.
Loud noises.
That's one of the easiest ones. But lots of the main big Hollywood films, we could second guess quite a lot of it. But if we were to write second guess Game of Thrones, True Detective, Bates Motel, the new Hannibal series, we'd struggle far more against that.
Yeah.
It's just far more interesting and unique.
Yes, I would have to agree. Bates Motel, I haven't seen, but does sound actually really intriguing. I mean, again, I know it's based on an original. It's not based on an original idea, but where they're going with it, where they're taking it, does sound like a interesting. Because we all know the story and where it goes, but it's the getting there that that's the interesting part. So I might actually give that a shot and see what that's like.
Yeah, you should do. It's not a bad little show. Me and Sophie were told to watch this by a friend, that Gogglebox on Channel 4.
Oh yeah.
Have you ever heard anything about Gogglebox at all or not?
Gogglebox.
Yeah.
Is that the show where they show people watching TV?
Yeah. So
my mum was telling me about
it. It is Channel 4 documentary. So what happens is they set up a call.
Yeah.
A camera in the corner of a room.
Right.
And they basically ask people to watch TV.
And they've got the same families over and over again.
They got the same family,
so you get to know.
Yeah, they are essentially characters because everyone's unique and has their own little sort of catchphrases or common sayings and our typical reactions.
Is it like my mum was explaining it to me just last week on Mother's Day because she's been watching it and she's really into it? But is it made up? Are they actors or are they real people?
I don't think so.
No?
I think it's all actual real people sort of doing it. I think they just because the people they've got a real high class sort of posh couple, a family. They've got sort of they've got cross section of the society,
Right.
And it is quite interesting how a lot of the posh people is the same reaction as the people with like far less money in the council estate in Manchester.
Yeah. I was just saying, have you seen their drinks cabinet, the posh people? It's amazing.
It is.
It's like the size of a wardrobe.
Oh, wow.
Do you think I should apply for the next series?
I think you'd be quite entertaining. I think
sit and watch Martyn in his pants watching Game of Thrones, and you can see how I react in the next version of a Red Wedding episode.
That would be awesome.
I would like to see that. I would pay good
just
money
be Martyn
to see
slumped there in complete apathy, going, that happened.
With a vodka in hand.
Yeah, just kind of occasionally shaking the glass, and you hear the ice clink. Oh, but no, actually, I came in with a mind not to enjoy it, to think, oh, okay, this is sort of a really silly base idea. But I ended up having a lot of fun watching the show. So I'd say, just go in, cast aside your preconceptions, just watch Gogglebox, because it is quite funny, and it is you can find something human about all of the people in the show and think, actually, do you know what? I do that occasionally, or I can understand that argument between those guys, because I've seen that happen before, or I've had that argument. So
I'm gonna have to give it a chance, because I know my initial reaction was, why would I want to watch
people watching exactly what stuff. I had. Yeah,
well, that's just a weird concept that I don't really have time for. But yeah, people are talking. People are swaying me. So I'll give it a little chance.
It's funny, like, we're all fairly different ourselves, and we're all thinking the exact same thing. Like, why on earth would you watch that? It's actually a bit more interesting. Because they watch, the episode I watched, they had aliens. So we're talking about Sigourney Weaver.
Oh, right.
They had a bit of the politics show. On interviewing Bez, the Happy Mondays guy. He's going for MP or something like that.
Really?
He's running for some seat in Manchester.
Oh, right, okay.
Wants to be a councillor or something. Wow.
Who would vote for him? I don't know. Whether he's on drugs now or not, I don't know, but the drugs have definitely had an effect on him.
He's a casualty of the 90s, isn't he? Yeah.
He is. All the ecstasy.
Yeah, his mind is not his own, I don't think.
He gets my vote.
Yeah.
Councillor Bez.
And so they had that, and they also went on to a documentary about getting Elvis's hair from his to look at his DNA.
Why?
So they have a bit of everything in the show.
That's quite varied.
It's worth a watch.
Yeah.
So to watch an episode.
Does it matter if you come in halfway through the series?
Nah, it makes no difference.
Pick it up.
Yeah.
Cool.
Go for it, James.
I'm going to do it. I'll report back. I'll get Fred to watch it as well.
Have a cheeky watch and let us know what you think.
Yeah.
There's a couple of other little things before we hang up for a day. The Megalodon Easter egg has been found in Battlefield 4.
Oh.
Have you ever heard about this Easter egg?
No, pray tell. What is it?
It was rumoured the Megalodon, as in the prehistoric, supersized great white shark, essentially, was in the game, but it had never been spotted until the other day. And someone had recorded Megalodon, who's the size of an island, jumping out of the water. The Battlefield 4 players have been diving away again.
Whoa.
Right. Did it cause like a little tsunami?
No, it didn't, unfortunately. It didn't. Some people seem to be underneath the shark. They didn't seem to die.
That would have been a pisser, wouldn't it? Can you imagine that? You're on a street.
There's never been seen before a shark in 6 months on all formats suddenly lands on you and you're dead. That would be unfortunate.
Like, this is the best game ever. I'm recording this, man. Yeah. What the shit? I'd imagine the commentary would go something like that.
I had a moment, but this obviously wasn't an Easter egg. This is part of the game. But playing Titanfall, like the main game for like one of the first times, and I know Martyn had mentioned something about little dragons and stuff on one of the levels, but it's like a huge, like sort of, I don't know what it's like, a Stegosaurus or like a Diplodocus or something in the background. But I just got really distracted by it. It looked awesome. It's just sort of like stamping its way across the landscape. And I got shot in the back of the head. I was just stood there too long and go, oh, look at that, that's amazing. But
yeah. Also, the next Assassin's Creed has been sort of unveiled. Did you see where it was all set?
Notre Dame, I think, wasn't it, in France?
Yeah, they all in Paris.
Yeah.
So a Parisian adventure awaits us come November.
I'm sceptical about that. Quite sceptical. I think they've broken the formula with Black Flag, to be honest. I don't know. They're going to have to do something spectacular to get me back into sort of just the city, running around over buildings and stuff.
What Paris-based activity could you do that would be new to the series? That would be completely like what's that? Bell ringing. Ah, yeah.
The hunt for the hunchback.
Yeah. Well, he's
got to go around scurrying.
He's got to be a character. I don't know if it's the right era, but he's got to be a character, hasn't he? I'd have thought. He'll help you out or something, give you a mission or two.
Yeah, a little hunchback at the top of Notre Dame, going, hello, assassin.
Martyn's trying to give you a run
see my wares. And he must be a character in it.
Be a shame not to.
It'd be a shame if different. But the side missions of Assassin's Creed Black Flag was one of the best things, as you're saying, James. The sailing aspects.
Oh yeah.
So that's all going to be lost. Maybe they'll put that into a spin-off series, which they were rumoured to do.
Yeah.
Have their own piratey series. But I don't know. They showed off a guillotine in.
Yeah, they did.
In the trailer.
They did.
So. That's not exactly.
Is it set during the Terror then?
Is it the 14th century?
I can't remember, in all honesty. It's sometime in France.
Last week.
It's not Napoleon's times, and it's not now.
Okay.
That narrows it down a little bit.
That's a fairly wide barometer that we.
I think it might be the 18th century.
Okay.
18th.
So 1700s. Is that when Les Mis was set of the revolution?
It would have been turn of the 19th, I think.
Industrial Revolution.
Late 18th century, I think.
I still think they should have gone the Japanese route. They may still do in the future.
Feudal Japan would be cool, actually. Yeah, and completely different to
Seven Samurai type thing.
Yeah,
exactly.
Shogun, that would be cool. Anyway, maybe next time.
Maybe this definitely won't be the last Assassin's Creed.
Yeah.
No,
that's for sure.
as long as that money keeps ringing in.
I remember when Assassin's Creed started, it was going to be a trilogy. We were like, played the first game, and it's like, what's going to happen next? It'll be one of 3. But then, a lot of things, they do the same. Mass Effect was going to be a trilogy, and there's a new Mass Effect coming out. Yeah.
Well, I'm glad about that, because I think that is really too interesting a universe to create and then go, we're done with it now. So.
Yeah.
I think the new Mass Effect is essentially going to be like Star Trek Next Generation and how Voyager and Deep Space Nine all interlocks. It's completely the same series and universe, but just none of the characters.
Yeah.
It's a completely different story, different part of the universe.
New races,
different technology,
species.
New races.
Yeah.
And again, a bit like Star Trek is the best comparison.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah,
it's better than Star Wars.
It is, because it's more about it is more about sort of exploration, isn't it? And taking the helm of your ship and just going off finding stuff out. But I'm nowhere near done with that series.
Oh no, it's fantastic. I mean, I'd always thought what would be a good idea is the multiplayer that they brought in was good, but another thing on top of that they could have done is they could have had a like a massively multiplayer Mass Effect. It would create havoc with acronyms, but because you imagine that MMORPG, but anyway, but that would be quite cool because everyone could have their own ship and their own crew, and you'd all be exploring the same universe and. Within cool. Mass Effect, I think that would be awesome. But
isn't that pretty much what Destiny's going to be?
Yeah, pretty much. It's like a Borderlands massive multiplayer online.
Yeah, but a different mechanic though, because it's an FPS kind of shooter mechanic, rather than a third-person chest-high wall shooter, which Mass Effect is.
I always thought Mass Effect would lend itself to good bit of cooperative play, particularly after like the first one, anyway. Because the first one was a bit tricky in terms of shooting and doing anything wasn't particularly easy. So
they refined that experience, didn't they?
Yeah. But we'll see. Who knows? Could happen.
It will happen, and it's not actually too long now to E3. 2 months. I think it'll be happening in 2 months' time.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So I hope
we've got
Borderlands 3 is announced. I want to play Borderlands 3.
I don't know. Oh, pardon me. I've fallen out of love with Borderlands somewhat.
I'll fall out of love with you then, Mike.
Oh, well, that's impossible.
I didn't. I must say, I didn't like the first one. Kind of grated on me a bit, and I never really got into the second one.
You really need. It's not a solo experience. You really do need a group of friends, not just people that you're playing with online who are anonymous, but a group of friends, so that you can. Make something more of the experience than what it actually is, because you need to be able to joke and, lark about as well, because otherwise the gameplay can get quite monotonous. So I'd say you need at least a party of 3 or 4 ideally, and you need to have at least one person who's gone through before and kind of knows what they're doing. Otherwise it could be quite monotonous, and a lot of it is navigating about the map, which I'm crap at. So, yeah. But, I don't want to be too down on Borderlands. I think it's an interesting idea, the way that you've got, your shooter mechanic tied with the RPG elements, tied with the teamwork elements. It's all right, yeah. I just thought it could have been...
the guns, actually. That's kind of something I liked about Borderlands, was the randomised weapons that you could just pick up.
And the cool names the guns had as well.
They're all pretty unique. Apparently that's something that Destiny's got as well. It's like millions of randomised weapons with unique stats and names and upgrades and things like that, which is quite
cool.
Quite cool.
Yeah. Well, anyway, that's been about an hour now. That's gone pretty quick. So we'll have to leave it there for today. But otherwise, you've been talking to the lovely soothing tones of me, Martyn, and James and Michael.
Thanks for listening, guys.
Bye, folks.